be cranking the AC this week. That's for sure if we haven't already. Jesse Miller in with us this morning. We're beating the heat today, Jesse.
Well, I hope so. I'm not at my house because my air conditioner's broke, which is why I'm doing it.
Bad week for that to happen.
Yeah, no kidding. It's the Freon leaked out of my system, and I'm going to have to spend a bunch of money to put it back in. So I thought I'd talk about how air conditioning works. And you might be wondering why I have a fire extinguisher. I'll get to that, I promise, how this works. But so air conditioning, it's not the most simple process in the world, right? Most people, they don't really care beyond turning it on and they get cold air.
I tend to fall in that category.
Yeah, how it really works. But it is kind of an interesting process how this works. It works on two basic principles. When you compress a gas, it heats up. And when a liquid expands, it cools down. Okay, that's the two basic processes. Okay, now from there it gets a little bit more tricky. Okay, so when you're compressing, like I said, when you compress a gas into a liquid, it heats up, and that's critical because in your air compressing unit, like if you're thinking about your central air outside, okay, you have your unit outside, and then you have the unit inside, which is usually an A coil in your furnace. Okay, the Freon is just a chemical that happens to have the property of changing phases in a fairly small temperature range. So it's a nice gassy. They used to use alcohol and ammonia, but they have their own dangers as well. So they found these inert gases that happen to work. Actually, Einstein had a couple of patents on this stuff. So it's a little bit difficult, right? So anyway, you got your Freon running through your A coil, and it's fairly cold, and it cools your A coil down. And the air from your house runs through the A coil, and it cools off. It gives it heat to the Freon. The Freon goes back to your outside unit. So when it goes back to your outside unit, it's a warm gas, okay? But it's not warmer than what the outside air is. So in order to remove the heat from the gas, we compress it. So outside is a compressor. It compresses the Freon. That heats it up. It turns it into a liquid, okay? But it also heats it up. Okay, now you can use the outside air to cool it down. So now we've gone from a hot gas to a hot liquid, okay, and we cool that liquid down with the outside air, okay, down to whatever the outside temperature is. Okay, so now it's a relatively cool liquid. That liquid gets pumped back to your air conditioning unit inside your house, the A coil inside your furnace, and they have an expansion valve in there, and it allows it to go from a liquid back out to a gas. And when that happens, it takes away heat from everything else. And I can show that here with this fire extinguisher. In the fire extinguisher, we have CO2. It's liquid in here. But it's not cold. It's room temperature liquid. But, watch out, Don. All right, here we go. Okay, now if you feel this horn, okay, you're going to feel that it's pretty cold.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's because as it goes from a liquid to a gas and it expands, there's something called the heat of vaporization. Okay, and that heat is taken away from the surroundings, basically, and it cools it down. Okay, so the same thing happens inside your A coil inside your house is as that expansion, as it goes from a liquid to a gas, it cools down very rapidly, takes the heat away from the A coil, and then you run air through it, which warms it up, and we start the cycle all over again.
Wow.
Right. So unfortunately, I don't have a demonstration to show with heat of compression, but diesel engines work the same way. The pistons come together, it compresses the gas. A diesel engine doesn't use a spark plug, right? Just from the heat of compression causes it to explode.
Is a refrigerator a totally different deal?
No, all these work exactly the same way. Whether it's your refrigerator, your car air conditioner, your house air conditioner, the wall units you have on there, it all works the same way. A little slightly different designs, but basically the heat of compression and then the vaporization.
Very good.
Cool segment, Jesse.
Thank you.
Now we know what we're paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for all summer long.
That's right, yeah.
That's where our money's going. Jesse Miller from the U of I. We appreciate it, sir.
No problem.
We'll have this segment and the other one from 6 on IllinoisHomepage.net right after the morning show today.
Our Rush headlines are next.